Happy Monday, everybody. 5 days out from Ring 5, Night of the Samurai. 5-fight card. It's looking good. I'm excited. We've got Japan versus South America. Garcia representing the Dominican Republic. Other than that, it's Mexico versus Japan. We're in for a treat. Obviously, what we're looking at is Inoue and Nakatani co-headlining. Looking forward to their proposed matchup next year in Japan. That is going to be an amazing fight. I cannot wait for that. I mean, literally the only fight I can think of that excites me as much as that one would be a hypothetical between Benavidez and Artur Beterbiev. Can you imagine that? Stylistically, oh my goodness. I think that fight would be sick, but I think this fight is even better. Inoue and Nakatani is just unbelievable. The way their styles clash, 32 and 30 years of age, 3-weight world champion, 4-weight world champion. Inoue, he's cleaned out his last 2 divisions. There's a lot of prospects at 26, but not an individual standout guy. That situation of transitioning from 22 to 26 for Inoue reminds me a little bit of Terrence Crawford stepping up to 154 pounds. It's jumping into a shark tank, and there's not exactly a top dog. So I think that that's been a little bit of a stalemate in his career moving forward, and then this fight with Junto has just maturated so perfectly. So not getting too far ahead, I'm going to preview what we have just after Christmas on the 27th. Looking forward to it. So getting into Ring 5, Night of the Samurai. Nice to have some boxing in that break between Christmas and New Year. We got Sutsumi opening the show. Sutsumi looks good so far. I think the biggest question on him is probably his punch power, coming off a first round stoppage. He's jumping in with Sanchez, a little bit more of an experienced fighter. He's been 10 rounds with a puncher, and he's never been stopped. He's got 10 more fights than Sutsumi. I think this is a good matchup at this point. I wouldn't say I'm expecting Sanchez to puzzle Sutsumi, but maybe we'll see him get pushed. Want to see where he's at, if he can comfortably control a guy for 6 rounds, if he can show his punch power, if he can punish him. Let's see. I think the bar is set very high for him, so I'll try not to be too hard on the kid. Another prospect we got showing out is Taiga Imanga. He won the JBC lightweight title in his last fight. I'm impressed with Imanga. So he's a tall southpaw. He's 5'9", got a good reach. He actually was at a size discrepancy in his last fight though, fighting somebody who's almost 6 foot. He's super patient, level changes well, uses a great jab. We know traditionally these Japanese fighters get moved pretty quickly. Obviously winning the Japanese title in his 9th fight is nothing to sneeze at. And he's been in their rounds with power punchers. Speaking of the eye test, he definitely passes it for me. I'm very impressed with him. I expect good things from him. Garcia on the other side is a guy that has been rounds as well, and he's got good wins over prospects. Beat William Foster and the Angelo Keys. He's pretty simple, but when he gets into a flow, when he gets into a rhythm, he's pretty good. He's pretty dynamic, but he's been caught cold before. Maybe they see some vulnerabilities there. I think that he's a little bit too simple for Imanga, but I do expect Garcia to push him a little bit. Maybe not, actually. Regardless, I think at this point it's good matchmaking and should be a good fight. Next on the docket, we have Kenshiro Taraji. Before he lost to Sandoval, I actually had him in the top 10 pound for pound. I really like Taraji. He's got a great style, super fun, but he's also technical. Got good footwork in and out. He throws his punches sharp and tight, and he's jumping up in weight here, jumping up to 115, looking to become a 3-weight world champion. And he's trying to do that against Wilbaldo Garcia Perez. So he actually recently took the vacant IBF title in a rematch with Calixto, and that was actually Puma's belt before he dropped it. In terms of this matchup, Perez is a guy with a bit of a deceiving record. He's got 6 losses, but he's won 12 straight fights. He was learning on the job a little bit, lost 4 of his first 6, only won 2 of his first 8. Since getting outboxed by Paul Butler in 2021, he's actually been undefeated, been on a very good run. He's got an aggressive upfront style, falls in with a big right hand. I actually think him and Taraji are very similar in their styles. I just think that Taraji's a bit more technical. He's got better footwork, he's a little bit more in and out, uses the jab more, and his punches are just a little bit more tight. But they both love to fight. They're both head on. Thing about Perez is, as well, with those 6 losses, he's never been stopped. He did get caught early against Butler, and I think that that's what you have to watch out for. Taraji can really crack. Going up to 15, we're going to see if that power translates. At this lower weight, I think that the power tends to translate pretty well. It's translated well for Bam Rodriguez, translated well for Inoue, translated very well for Inoue-Nakatani. So I expect Taraji's power to show. going up in weight, and if he stuns Perez early, I think that that's where he would have the best chance of hurting him. Otherwise, I think that these boys are going to be going to war all night. I think that this is going to be fight of the night. I think this is going to be a banger, and maybe see Taraji get some more respect on an international level himself, because he is so entertaining. Now getting into the first of our co-headliner, Inoue-Nakatani taking on undefeated Mexican Sebastian Hernandez Reyes. This is his first fight at super bantamweight, taking on a top 10. We know a lot about Nakatani at this point. Tall, southpaw with a devastating left hand. 31-0 coming into this fight. Same record as Inoue. We'll get to that in a minute. Right now I want to focus on Reyes, since he's much less heralded than Nakatani. 20-0, I think in terms of where he's at, you could actually compare him to Cardenas, to Acosta, to guys of that level. Just on the brink of world level contention, just broken into the top 10, and he did that with a win over Havanesian. Other than that, there's not much to look at in his record. Havanesian is a guy that can punch well, has been a perennial contender, but as of late has turned into a bit of a journeyman. I'll be honest, I don't think he presents a real challenge to Nakatani in this fight, other than just being a come forward, two-fisted puncher. He hits hard, no doubt. He's got 18 KOs and 20 wins, and he's gonna come forward, he's gonna try, but he moves in straight lines, falls in, and getting his combinations off against Nakatani I think is gonna be damn near impossible. I just don't think he's fast enough. So I think that Nakatani is gonna show out, and I think that a lot of people are almost leaning towards him in this fight with Inoue. So I expect Nakatani to look very good, and I expect the emphasis to be on Inoue going in to close the show to really show out against David Picasso. Getting into that fight, David Picasso comes in with a 32-0-1 record. I've got some questions about that myself. His only blemish came in his 5th fight when he took on Jimenez Delgado. It goes down as a technical decision, a draw. I can't personally find any information on this fight except that on BoxRec it says it was originally a TKO win for Jimenez. 3 years after the fact, or so it says, this fight was overturned by the commissioner. Like I said, I couldn't find any information on this fight, although I do see that Picasso is a little bit unheralded coming into this fight, and he's got that Julio Cesar Chavez Mexican connection. This Inoue fight has been brewing for a couple of years. I'm not sure if anyone's ever actually asked for it. In terms of what challenge Picasso presents, I mean, not much. If you make anything of Tim Bradley's comments on the broadcast, Inoue's past couple fights, suggesting maybe he's been hurt to the body a few times, maybe you think that Picasso could expose a weakness there. Other than that, I don't think that his defense is great. I don't think he knows how to use his size. When I'm watching him, I see a young kid who's still trying to figure out his style, and his high guard, his defense, I don't think it's good enough. Inoue is a real certified, proven power puncher. He can punch straight through your guard. Picasso's a guy that stands there at times, lacks a jab, lacks a lead hand, and just seems unsure at mid-range, at long range, seems ineffective. In tight, I don't think he's going to have any success against Inoue. Inoue can loop his punches. He can get a little bit ahead of himself. We saw him dial that in his last fight against MJ, but we also saw his 11-fight knockout streak come to an end. Now you can make something of that if you will. Inoue stopped 11 of his past 12 opponents. He's also stopped 18 of his past 20. So I don't make much of that. MJ is very tough, very physical, and I don't think on that front Picasso presents the same challenges. Picasso has been the 12-round distance, as Inoue went his last fight. He did that as well against Havanesian, coming off a 10-round decision against Kameda, who bounced back with a win over Casemiro, who surprisingly to me was actually unbeaten since 2017. Did not expect that. So Picasso's been on a good run. 25, he's ought to be coming into his prime. So everything you want. If he's not ready now, will he ever be? Only time will tell. I would say that in terms of matchmaking, it's good. Inoue getting a tall guy that throws good power punches, doesn't jab at all, but throws good power punches and is tall, likes to lurch in. It's good preparation for the Nakatani fight. I would say that Picasso presents more of a challenge than Reyes. I would say Inoue is at more of a risk than Nakatani. I think that Picasso presents more challenges, at least physically, than Reyes does at this point. Yes, Reyes is a two-fisted puncher, but I think that with Nakatani's size and his counter-punching ability and just his general boxing ability, I think that he's going to be able to deal deal with Reyes pretty easily, and I could even see him putting him away very convincingly. Inoue is dealing with a taller guy. He's been dropped twice in his last 4 fights. People make a lot of that. I think part of it is people not realizing how devastating Luis Nery actually is. The build up to that fight as well is kind of under the radar. And then Cardenas, like I said, unheralded, but both of those knockdowns match rated off of mistakes from Inoue. Make of it what you will, but obviously people are making a lot of that because of the left hand of Junto. So just taking that into consideration, I would say that Inoue is probably at more of a risk than Nakatani this weekend, but I don't think that Picasso nor Reyes present much of a challenge to either of these champions. I expect smooth sailing, 32-0 for both men, and I cannot wait for that fight. And let's hope for the best, because if something goes wrong, that means that next May, next June, next year, this super fight won't happen, and I just honestly can't handle that right now. So best of luck to both men. Post Christmas throwdown, what a treat. Happy holidays, everybody.